So there's a huge new update on the alpha server. You might have already heard about it, but today we're going to take a look at it. Now, the first thing that I notice is the fountain that I usually stand in front of at the start of most of my videos is not there. Is this out of spite? Please bring back. Thank you. Majority of the update revolves around the new mayors. And when I say the new mayors, I mean more like the new perks that the mayors have. In turn, we've got a nice, well, rebuilt community centre. It looks pretty good. And also, if we just take a look inside, even though things are relatively in the same area, it looks different. And honestly, it looks a lot nicer. We have Clerk Seraphine directly in front of us. Our city projects are now over here on the right, and kind of over here too. We have a new area with Minister Nancy and also Mayor Nancy. Anyway, let's take a look at the election room. Well, it looks relatively similar. It's quite a lot to take in, so I think we're best probably looking at the patch notes first off. Before we go any further, if you are planning on purchasing anything from the Hypixel store, make sure to use code NITROS. It gets yourself 5% off. You should subscribe to the channel if you watch the videos and you haven't subscribed. Please make sure to do so. You should join the Discord server. It's linked in the description of this video. We offer slays and dungeon carries, so if you need carries or want to carry and make some coins, make sure to join. They will be linked in the description, by the way. The long-awaited Better Maze update has finally arrived on the alpha. Continue reading if you want a full breakdown of the changes and additions and so on. Just a quick overview, the runner-up candidate of an election becomes the minister. One of the perks activates if they've got a second place. Almost every mayor is getting a new 4th perk. Diaz has been almost entirely reworked, which is good because, yep. A new carnival event for Foxy, which is good because Foxy is, well, kind of rubbish at the moment. The minister system. Ministers are the runner-up candidates in an election. Every mayor will have a perk chosen as a minister perk at the beginning of every election. If they become the minister, this perk becomes active. And as we see here, the minister perk will display with the star next to it, so we know what minister perk we'll get if they do actually come second in the election. Additional notes, special mayors cannot have ministers. Ministers will not show up in the election after they are elected. Unlike mayors, ministers will keep their perks when they do show up again and still cannot roll additional perks. 4th perks. Almost every mayor is getting a new, never before seen 4th perk, which is pretty cool. These new perks should help some of the less popular mayors get elected more often. So it shows here that now for a mayor to have 2 perks, there's a 50% chance of them having 2 perks. The 3 perks, there's another 50% chance. And to have 4 perks, it's an 8% chance, which, I don't know, is not too bad considering 4 perks is pretty decent for a mayor. Where are Aatrox and Paul's new never before seen 4th perks? Where are Aatrox and Paul's new never before seen 4th perks? You didn't hear this from me, but apparently Aatrox and Paul failed to hand in their campaign plans in enough time. Aatrox claimed he couldn't read Clerk Seraphine's memo, even though she sent out multiple well in advance. And Paul had no Abiphone cell service when running M4, which sounds like the least of his problems. Yeah, that's true, I guess. As we can see, there's a bit of lore. To me, it kind of seems like either they've not had enough time to develop the perks, which I don't think is true, because I would have thought they would just develop another perk and just delay this update by a couple of days until they've implemented it. What really probably seems to be more likely is that these 2 mayors are already massively selected. Like the Aatrox and Paul are probably the 2 most popular mayors, and in honesty, maybe don't really need a 4th perk. But who knows? It mentioned to say that they may take longer to develop, which hints at potentially them having 4th perks in the future. But it seems a little bit strange why it wouldn't just be in this update. Anyway. Hiding election votes for ongoing elections. We've gathered that a lot of players would prefer it if the candidates' votes were not displayed during the elections, so we are going to try something out. Once the update leaves the alpha network, we plan on alternating between elections where voting is private and elections where voting is public. We have a hunch that you guys will end up preferring the votes to be public, so that you can strategize and vote for a minister, but we'll see how everything plays out, and we'll be monitoring for feedback. I think that makes sense, to be completely honest. I think the way that the current mayor system is, where ministers don't even exist, it makes more sense to have the voting private, because otherwise people just jump on the bandwagon and don't really vote for what they actually want. They might look at the votes and think, oh well, I don't really want this mayor, but they've already got 75% of the vote, so I'll just vote for them because why not? But when you have a minister potentially there, it would probably be good to see who could be second. I don't know. Anyway, let's take a look at the actual perks. So for Marina, new perk, Double Trouble. For every 1% of sea creature chance, gain plus 0.1% chance to double hook sea creatures. That seems pretty cool. Yes, that means double hook chance is officially becoming a stat. The giant fishing rod and double hook attribute have been updated to reflect this. Diana. The mythological ritual has plenty of content, so Diana is only getting one new perk. New perk, sharing is caring. You can have up to 3 XP shared pets active at once. Your XP share rate is increased by 10%. And then it looks like EXP sharing has been reworked. Diana's perk may have caught you off guard. That's because we have reworked how EXP shares work in Hypixel Skyblock. Rather than using the XP share item, you can simply use a menu to choose what pet you want to XP share with. Your XP share rate will also go up by 0.2% per taming level, to a maximum of 12%, which is, I think that's a pretty cool change. By default, you will only have 1 active XP share slot when Diana is in office with her sharing is caring perk. 2 more XP share slots will become enabled. Those slots will no longer provide XP when Diana leaves office, but you can still add / remove pets from those slots. They're not stuck in there. XP share indicators. The 3 slots within the XP share menu have colourful indicators to tell you their status. Active slots are green, empty slots are yellow, and inactive slots are red. What happened to the XP share item? Instead of enabling the system as a whole, the XP share item now simply boosts the effectiveness of pets receiving XP shares by 15%. This item is stacked with the 12% XP share rate from taming 60, means that you can reach a total of 27%, which is higher than the original item's 25% outside of Diana's 10% boost. Favoriting pets. We've taken the time to add some minor quality of life to the pets menu. With this feature, you can simply shift left click to favorite a pet. Favorited pets will show up at the front of your pet menu so that you can access them easily, which, yeah, seems really nice. Nothing bad there, just good. Now on to Finnegan. A new perk, Blooming Business. Garden visitors will give out fine flower and appear more often. Additional visitors may visit your garden. High rarity visitors are more likely to show up and provide 10% more copper. Fine flower. While Blooming Business is active, visitors will reward you with fine flower for completing their requests, in addition to their regular rewards. We can see the item here. Bring 3,000 of these to Carolyn in the skeleton to permanently gain +5 health and +12 wheat fortune. The amount of fine flower a visitor gives you is dependent on the rarity. Uncommon 1, rare 3, legendary 5, mythic 10. 4 new visitors. Also, while Blooming Business is active, there is a chance that some new visitors may appear in your garden. These include the Baker, the Vinyl Collector, the Pest Wrangler, and the Ravenous Rhino. Interesting. We won't spoil everything here, but the Ravenous Rhino is the new mythic visitor that is an additional source of dedication for books. Very interesting. That's really cool. It looks like we have some sort of stinky cheese potion, which is going to give us +20 bonus pest chance. A brown bandana, gain +0.2 pest chance for every pest bestiary tier unlocked. That seems pretty cool. The pest vest, bonus pest chance of 10%, decreases the spawn cooldown of pest by 20%. That seems really good as well. Okay, now on to coal. New perk, Molten Forge. Decreases the time it takes to forge by 25%. Updated perk, Mining Fiesta. Schedules 5 Mining Fiesta events that last for 7 days each. Earn 2 times the drops and extra unique loot, including refined materials and glossy gemstones. Grants +75 mining wisdom during the event, only active in public islands. This is a really good change. This perk seems decent. To me, it's very useful, but I feel like it might be a little bit weak for a whole perk for a mayor. I don't know. Maybe even 50%. I don't know, but I just think there needs to be a bit more. New items. We have the Sapphire Cloak, which is going to give us +30 mining speed, +10 mining fortune. It's going to grant us +30 mining fortune while mining Sapphire. And the full set bonus is Gemstone Gatherer, grants 75 mining fortune while in the Crystal Hollows. It seems really cool. It's obviously called the Sapphire Cloak. I'm not sure how many people actively mine Sapphire, or whether this will make it worth it. Foxy, updated perk, Sweet Benevolence. Increase your chances of dropping candy and gifts by 30% during the Spooky Festival and Season of Jerry respectively. New perk, A Time for Giving. Party chests and party gifts can be obtained while this event is active. New event perk, Chivalrous Carnival. Schedules a carnival in the hub, active throughout the entire year. Take on fun activities to earn tokens to exchange them for perks and special items. The Sweet Benevolence perk. This perk is a result of merging with Foxy's old Sweet Tooth and Benevolence perks. Party chests and party gifts. Foxy's A Time for Giving perk introduces new items. Party chests and party gifts. These items are only obtainable while the perk is active and can drop some new items. For instance, say we have the Snowman Mask, which gives us plus 10 health, and we gain 10% more coins and skill XP from gifts. That seems pretty interesting. You can see here all of the items that can drop from the party chests and the respective percentages, and then the same goes for party gifts. Party gifts are earned by killing winter sea creatures while on the Jerry Island. Party gifts will upgrade the rewards found in red gifts, making them more worthwhile to open up. Okay, onto the carnival. The Chivalrous Carnival has 3 games within it, each requiring 5 carnival tickets to play. Every day the carnival leader will give out 25 carnival tickets for free, just for talking with him. He's located in the entrance to the Chivalrous Carnival while the event is active. Carnival tickets can also be earned by participating in many of Skyblock's calendar events. And as you can see here, you can see basically how you can earn these carnival tickets, and basically just through the various events that are ongoing throughout the year. Fruit digging. Dig up 10 fruits from a sandpit to earn a high score. Each fruit gives you a different amount of points, and then most of them have a unique effect to earn you even more or less points. Catch a fish. The objective of catch a fish is to catch a fish. Catch as many as possible before the time runs out by hooking onto them and holding right click to reel them in. There are different types of fish that give differing amounts of points. Some are harder to catch than others. Zombie shootout. Using your trusty carnival dart tube, of course, kill as many zombies as you can in the shooting gallery before the time runs out. Higher tier zombies award more points, but of course run faster. Zombies have a chance of spawning as a baby zombie who award double the points, but run even faster. Redstone lamps will occasionally light up in the gallery as well. Make sure to shoot them for extra points. We of course have a carnival shop, an event shop, and some new items. We are tracking stats for all of your carnival game attempts. To our rewards gal, Charnel, to check out your cumulative and yearly stats for all of carnival games. Each time a carnival is held, Chantel offers refreshed objectives for players to complete. These give players significant rewards for your first few plays of each carnival games, resetting with each new carnival. Of course, we have commemorative items like we do with a lot of things. Now let's move on to Diaz. New perk, volume trading. Double the item quantity from Shen's auction, sends Shen... New perk, volume trading. Double the item quantity from Shen's auction, Shen's special, and Rift Shen's on the year Diaz is elected. 2 additional Shen special auctions will be available for the duration of Diaz being elected as mayor. New event perk, stock exchange. Diaz is bringing more stock of stonks into circulation. Stock of stonks can be obtained from the stonks auction and winning bids for them in the dark auction and Shen's auction. Start with Diaz while she's elected with this perk to bid for stock of stonks and trade in your stock of stonks for some cool new items. RIP to anyone who has invested in stock of stonks as the price has completely crashed. New perk, long-term investments. The elected minister will appear in the next election with all of the available perks. More Shens. With this update, Shen's auction will be offered twice a year rather than just once. Stock of stonks usage. Back in early 2020, we introduced the stock of stonks as a test item that coincided with the release of the Bazaar. This item has never had any use, only speculative value, at least until today. Mayor Diaz's stock exchange perk will introduce significantly more stock of stonks into the economy, but it will allow you to trade them in for some new items. Golden fragments. Use 8 golden fragments to upgrade the following: Daedalus Axe, Midas Sword, and Midas Staff. Interesting. You're basically just fragging it by the looks of it. Avaricus Chalice. Plus 50 stock of stonks. Use one of them along with other items to upgrade the Emerald Ring, the Emerald Artifact. You can also use one to upgrade the Crown of Greed into the Crown of Avarice. Interesting. Freshly minted coins. Cost 1 stock of stonks. Capped at 5,000 global purchases every 4 hours. Used in various amounts to obtain the following: Scavenger Ring / Artifact, Ring Artifact, or Relic of Coins. Also Scavenger 6. And then you can basically obtain them through the stonks auction. Oh, this is actually really interesting. You can use stock of stonks in a Midas anvil to increase the price paid for the item. Yeah, that's really cool. And now Derpy. Basically, he just doesn't close the auction house anymore. But you have to pay more taxes, which is good because, well, I mean, it added an interesting element to the game. But a lot of people didn't like the fact that he closes the AH. Now, if you actually complete some tasks on the alpha server, you'll gain like a memento item on the main server, which is also pretty cool. But other than that, that's everything on the changelog, on the thread. Oh, it's not the changelog per se, it's just the thread. And I have to say, there's a lot of really cool changes. I'm just going to see if we can check out some of the featured items that appear here. Okay, so the giant rod has changed slightly because the double hook chance now appears differently, as mentioned before. Fine flower, as I mentioned before, also we can see here. Also the pest vest, the brown bandana, glossy gemstones that you can now find in the mining fiesta, the new mithril equipment set, titanium equipment set, and then basically the different gemstone equipment set, which looks really cool considering it's going to give you a lot of fortune in, you know, a wide variety of different gemstone mining. It's pretty cool. But yeah, like this is just a huge new update. You can now make the mineral armor glossy, I guess, with these glossy gemstones, and it actually looks really cool. Like even the helmet's purple. We have the crown of Avaris, the golden fragment as we mentioned before, and yeah, we can frag a minder staff. What does it actually give us? Give us anything? Oh, look. The ability damage bonus of the item is dependent on the price paid for it at the auction, but now it goes up to 500 million coins once you frag it rather than 100 million. Okay, so does that coincide with a ton more damage? And of course you can increase the price paid with stock of stonks. This is crazy good. Anyway, of course we have the rest of the new items as well. Like this is, like you can see why this update's taken a long time. It's huge, it's massive, it's... yeah, I don't know what to say. I can't get over how cool this armor set looks. It just does. There's so much to take in. If you can get on the alpha, I know there's a big queue, then I'd urge you to do it so you can check out some of the new items and pretty much everything. The carnival. There's so much going on. It's hard to take in all at once. There's going to be a lot of changes to pretty much everything that might not have even been considered on face value. Well, let me know what you think in the comments. What do you think of this? Have you had a chance to get on the alpha and play it yet or not? Is there any changes that you personally maybe would change and that you're not a fan of? Anyway, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you do leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.